Hello, and welcome to episode number 2. I have no excuse for this not to be out the very next day because I have plenty of time to edit and basically ship it out tomorrow. This is another cash game, another 20 minutes or so, and it's all about avoiding dangerous spots like I was saying yesterday, but it's also about not being afraid to fold. And I want to try demonstrate some of that today. Because the big moments will come, and when you're playing a $2 level, those big moments, I'm going to check or fold here. I'm going to check or fold. And the reason I'm checking or folding is because if a queen comes, I can bet, and they might not give me credit for it, because why would I be check folding a queen? So if they just limp in and I instantly check, they might assume I had clicked check or fold, but it doesn't matter. There's a raise and I ain't going to be in it, so it's fine. What else do you want to say? Yeah, like a flop like that, I could bet at that, and the person who's like, well, clearly you don't have the queen because you just said, because you checked so quick, you clearly had pressed the button check or fold, and I might get extra value from that, but I don't want to call a raise to see it, so it doesn't really matter, because someone who's raising could easily have ace queen, king queen, queen 10. So it's just these situations that you just want to try and avoid, because remember, the whole goal of this series is to demonstrate being able to build a bankroll slowly but surely, starting out with just $10, playing a simple little $2 cash game, but playing it not so much to make the best possible decisions in poker, because sometimes the best decisions in poker will actually lose you money. For example, last night I lost a full buy-in because I raised pre-flop with ace-ace and someone re-raised me, so I just shoved all in with ace-ace, and they actually had queen-queen, caught a queen, and ended up taking all my money essentially. But now, ace-ace is an extreme example because you want to go all in with that anyway. But my point is, dangerous situations like that are definite, yes, you must do, and it's a very correct decision. I'm not going to take them sometimes. Sometimes if there's a flush on board and they need one card to catch a flush, and I think they're on a flush draw, I might just fold. And yes, it's theoretically the wrong play, but we're not playing poker at the minute, we're just trying to build a bankroll safely. When this bankroll hits about $20, then we can start taking those edges because we can afford to lose a buy-in or two, if that makes sense. Just at the beginning, you just want to play safe, play your premium hands, and just, when you hit trip kings or whatever, you just go for it. And if someone's willing to call you, you go for it again, and try and build up a good stack that way. And then, like I said, Interesting. The house wins that one with the rake. Which brings me on to another point, actually. I don't know if anyone's played the new Split Hold'em, but if you are playing Split Hold'em at the minute and you stumble across this video, if that game is still about, please, if there are only 2 people in the pot, for the love of God, check. Stop raising. People just raise and raise and raise when there's only 2 people in the pot. I win the top flop. They win the bottom. Well, not flop, run out. They win the top. Oh my goodness. I win the bottom and they win the top. So the money gets split between the 2 of us. And it was only our money going in because there was only 2 of us in the pot. And all that happens is both of us lose money because the house takes a rake. So please, if you are heads up in a pot and you're pretty convinced that you win one and the other person's going to win the other, just check. Try check to the river. Split your money. It's going to happen anyway. No amount of money is going to make each other fold. So just, unless you have a straight on both or a flush on one and a straight on another, then bet away. But it's just really irritating knowing that you have a lock on one and they're betting on the other, and you know that the more money they put in against you, all they're doing is giving it to the house. You're just like paying a bigger rake in money, not in percent. So that's just something to watch out for if you do play that game. Haven't played a hand here yet, but like that's fine. Like that's poker, you know. And the fact that I'm only playing for 20 to 30 minutes means I might not get a hand, and that's just how it goes. Like this would be a decent hand if I was like not first to act. I feel like I went on a tangent there about. I feel like I went on a tangent there about split poker, but it was just something that was on my mind. There is something else though that I was talking about before that I completely forget. Anyway, yeah, this is the moment. See, in this moment I won't click check or fold. I'm folding if there's a bet, but I don't want them to know that I'm holding such weak hands, so I won't click check or fold. So that if it is check to me, they realise that I purposely just clicked check instead of just check or fold. Because if like I had a queen last time, so if it did check to me, I could bet at queen. But that time I had 10-4. So like I don't want to have them like with the queen 2, they would expect me to have a hand like 10-4. So when a queen comes and I bet, I get value from it. But when I actually have 10-4, I don't want them to know that I have something so weak. So I want them to, maybe he was thinking of raising. So when a queen comes or a king, I can actually call it. I feel like this person's been fairly active. I'm going to call this. Hopefully hit it straight. Jack would do either. I don't want to raise it. Just want to see a flop. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 10. Got a good shot. 5, 6, 7, 8. Got a 4. Would help. I'm going to check that. Going to re-raise this if he bets. I'm going to go 20 cent. Oh, they had the jacks. Hey, look, sometimes it happens. It was a bluff that went wrong. That's okay. This is a fold. Not suited and very, very far apart. Honestly, if I wasn't on the button, the jack 8 wasn't a call. The only reason I bet at the end was because I lost to an ace high, a king high, a queen high, but an ace, king or queen high would have folded to the bet. Like it wasn't a situation where the only thing that was going to call me had me beat. Wait, was it? Sorry, my mind is actually fried at the minute. Yeah, the only thing that was going to call me had me beat. But things that had me beat would also fold. Like ace, king, queen high. And I might have even been able to get like a pair of 5s to fold as well. I didn't, and we're here. Lost what? 32 cent. Not too bad. I sensed weakness where weakness was not to be found. Flying around the table today, I like this. I feel like yesterday the table, everyone was taking so long to make decisions. But this one, like I'm still talking about a hand that happened 2 hands ago on the button. Ooh, interesting. 2-3 got there. 6-7 flopped there. 2 clubs might be coming along for the ride. Oh, interesting. Now only 7 is needed. And pair of 10s win. Queen 5, fold. Yeah, another part of this strategy is like when you're on the button, the cutoff or the hijack. And by the way, if you don't know what those terms mean, if you're like really new to the game, if you just shoot in the comments, I'll upload a whole other video of like positions and stuff, and basically, explain some things. Yeah, the reason I folded ace 6 was because it was such an early position. Basically, it is callable, and you could even open with it in the $2 level, but you might get crushed later on Like, that's the worst flop for this hand. Oh no, never mind. Ace and 6. Sorry, that's a really good flop for this hand. Never mind. But yeah, just these small edges, like, I'm not about taking them right now. Again, when I have $20 in the bankroll, I will take edges like that. And then you'll notice that your money starts to jump up. It can swing the other way too, but like when you win, you tend to win bigger because you're in more hands. Like I would have called with that one, would have called the raise, the re-raise, whatever. Wow, 3 people. Oh. What's happening? Call. Ah. I really wanted to see what they had. Was it a bluff? 2-3, big blind. Ugh. Not suited, but like, whatever. I wouldn't be after suits anyway with 2-3. So the suits don't even come into it. I would be after just the straight and only the straight. An earlier position raise, middle position really. I'm half tempted to call this, but I know it's a really dumb thing to do, so I don't think I will, because that's not what we're about at the minute. Okay, I'm gonna have to call it now because there's 21 cent in the pot, and I have to call 4 cent to possibly win. I have a pair of 2s. Problem is, I'm gonna fold to any bet here. And they're obviously going to bet about 15 cent. Oh no, they checked. Interesting. See, now I'm going to raise. And I'm going to raise like 18 cent. Okay, that'll do. I probably could have checked the river and hoped an ace fell. And hoped one of them had an ace. Probably would have been the smarter thing to do. Thinking back, I might... At the end of the week, I'm going to take another 20 minutes. I don't know if I'm going to video it. I might throw it together just to kind of show what I do. But basically, what I'll be doing is going over interesting hands that happen through the week. Like even hands where I won, could I have won more? Hands where I lost, could I have avoided the loss? I'm going to open here because it's on the big blind. Or the button, not the big blind. The dealer button. Hey, we got a call. Small blind. They're going to have to act first. So we'll see if they check to me. And if they raise, I might fold. If they check, I'm going to raise 10 cent. No, 8 cent. Let's see what happens here. Nice. What I like to do is just click the half pot. And then just, like on the dial underneath, just click 1 up or 2 up from the half pot. So it's just slightly better than half pot. So it looks less standard, but in reality it is actually my standard. Interesting. Let's hit trips. Or not. Still going to go for it. But I'm just going to go pure half pot. Because it's still kind of for value. I don't see them having a king. So I'm going to go again. Half pot. If they raise, I'm folding because it basically screams king. They're like dying to get it in. But back up to evens now. Hand number 21. I only have about 10 hands left before I call it quits for today. And the reason the videos are so short, like I would play for an hour, like 40 minutes even, but I don't want people, like I don't want you going, oh, another 45-minute video, I ain't watching this. You know, a nice little 20 snippet of poker a day, I think is quite enough, you know. And it might not even be every day. I'm not going to promise videos every day. I'm just going to promise videos. I'm going to promise to continue this and basically leave it at that. Hopefully, minimum twice a week. Hoping for an average of about 5 a week. Or 4 a week even. Just want to keep it kind of going. Because I want to actually like achieve what I'm setting out to achieve, which is build a bankroll. And a bankroll, by the way, is like turning this 10 into like 50. Because then you have enough money to comfortably play the $5 games. You can play the $10 games if you want. It's a little more variance. For your bankroll, like the swings will be bigger, but if you're confident enough to be able to play it, then you can. I'm going to open here if it's not, or call if it is. And as you saw, it was open, so I'm just going to call. And we hit an ace. We're going to check. And we're going to call. We're going to slow play this a little bit. 8 cent into 12. So they did the half pot and clicked up one. See? These are the patterns you notice. Now I'm just going to check. Obviously, I'm not really scared of anything. Going to have to bet for value here. We go 16. They're going to fold. But I could not bet. Couldn't let them just check back. And I couldn't assume they were going to bluff either, because they looked like they were giving up in the turn anyway. Queen 7. This is tricky. The only thing going for this is the suits, and the queen is pretty high up there when it comes to suits. We've got an under the gun raise. I'm actually thinking I actually might fold this. They're just not close enough for me. And unless, literally the only thing I'd be hoping for is the clubs. Ace 10. Slightly better. Let's see. If no one opens, I'm raising. And if this person opens or the next person opens, I actually might fold, because they might have a better ace. But these are the things, like in the $2 games, you don't really have to worry about that. I'm going to pot this because I have a decent hand. And I don't want someone to limp in with like a 2-3 and the flop to come ace 4-5 and I think I'm great with my ace. So I'm going to charge them for the 2-3. Okay. Not a bad flop at all. I can definitely bluff at that. That jack there. Interesting. I'm going to fold. I reckon they have like trip 5s or something. And before I even bet, I actually felt that they were slow playing something, because they just limped in and then suddenly raised. Fold. See, the reason I'm folding this, I would have played it last hand, but because I'm a position further away from the button, I don't want to get too involved. Would have been a great flop though. Possibly, who knows? They were raising pre. They could have had an ace too. Seven trees is obviously a fold. I'm assuming there'll be no arguments on that one. 10 jack. 10 jack is always interesting because people play 10 jack a lot, but in this situation, if you have queen king, you have an open ender, and no matter which way it falls, you're generally going to have the best open ender. Like if a 9 falls, you have a straight to the king, which is going to be the best straight out there. And you kind of call all these bets, and they could have 10 jack in their hand. So they have 2 pair, you have an open ender. Suddenly you're putting money in, and then you don't hit it by the river, and you're just like, oh, what a waste of money. So it's always a tricky one when you get an open ender. And in this situation, like for this kind of series, like I'm not trying to do anything too wild, like, or even do any optimal plays. I'm just trying to do the optimal like money play. Like this, I'm going to raise this up. I'm hoping they open so I can pot bet. Okay. Again, I don't know if I said this last video, but 3 big blinds is my opener. Whether I have pocket aces or 4 or 5. 3 big blinds. Keep it standard. That way people don't say, oh, you obviously have aces. Okay. I'm actually going to fold here because there's an ace out. And they're donk betting, so people generally donk bet with strength. Ace 2, fold. Okay, I'm going to go one more ring around the table and then call it quits for today. I feel like this video isn't as long. Maybe I'm completely wrong in saying that, but I think last time I had 30 hands and now I'm on hand 31. But I feel like this went a lot quicker. So I'm going to go one more ring around and give 9 extra hands essentially. Woo! $2. I love seeing all ins when I'm not involved. Plus it gives you great information. Like if the person called and they called with like queen 10 and the person went all in, raised with aces, then you know to respect they're all in. But the other person with queen 10, you could kind of raise all in against because they're willing to call so light. Oh no, I meant to click check or fold. Okay, I'm going to check. No point getting out of hand here. It's 7 cent in the pot. And I don't think of it as 7 cent, and neither should you. You should be thinking of it you should be thinking as 3.5 big blinds. Because whether we're playing for €2,000 or $2,000, $200, $50, like the money is going to change up and down, but the big blinds will not. So you need to just get in your head, how many big blinds am I winning? How many big blinds am I losing? A 10. Now I'm going to call if he raises. It's likely he has a king, but I ain't going to cower out either. Okay. Straight is possible with ace jack, but trips not good enough to fold, or too good to fold. I might tempted to raise this up. 72 cent though. No, they only have 72 cents, so there's no point in going for implied odds value, because it's not really an implied odds value hand unless you get a flop like this. But they're going to bet again. I'm going to call. Oh no, they're going to go all in. I'm going to fold. Oh well, I tried to catch it. That was actually a really dumb move that I did there, because I'm here preaching about safety and not chasing things, and that was the optimal time to not chase, because they didn't have enough money behind for me to catch my draw and then charge them for it. So yeah, it was actually really dumb. Really dumb. Don't know why I did it, to be honest. 9, 10, jack, queen, king. 10 cent. I wouldn't mind that 10 cent. Ooh. Although clearly it's just going to go check, check. Ace, queen, pair of queens. 9, 2, 5. Looks like we're going to end up down money today, which is A-okay. Because he can't win every day. And it was my own fault. I should have folded to the flop bet with the ace-9 suited there. Wow, that was such a quick bet. I wouldn't mind staying longer and basically getting all that person's money, because they're playing so loose and fast now that they're just, like, they realize they're down a whole dollar, that they're trying to just win, essentially. And if you can get a good hand against them, they will have no trouble going all in against you, trying to push you off. Queen 7, that's a fold. Unfortunately, I'm getting around to the early positions, so I'm literally looking for ace king, ace queen, ace jack suited, or just pockets anywhere from, like, I don't know, like 7s up, maybe 8s. I could potentially just play loose to try and get my money back, but what's the point in that? You could just end up losing more. And that's why poker is a long-term game. It's not a game that you play, you know, session per session. Like, your poker session ends when you play your last ever hand of poker, ever. Not when you end for today. And I'll talk more about that at the end of the week, maybe after video 5. Interesting. Ooh, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, that's a big run. 4, 6. No, I like 4, 6 sometimes, but not in this position. Call. 3, 4, 5, 6. That's why I like 4, 6. Because if he can open with it in a later position, like, runs are hidden. Now, I know I don't have a run now, but And now I probably would just fold because there's a king there. If they're showing aggression twice in a row, they might even have a heart. So that rules out your 7 of heart and your 2 of hearts. So, you know, if one of your outs is a dirty out, you just can't count it. End of story. Oh, I guess that's it for today. Let's see, out next hand. Down money today, but let's keep trucking on tomorrow and see where we end up. I promise better play tomorrow and more strict play. Sorry about that today. This is probably the worst example of what I'm trying to prove, because I called a really dumb bet, and that's kind of the strict manner of this sort of play literally preaches against those sort of calls. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.